The anime is about a girl named Hee-tohri, an introvert who has difficulty in making friends. Because of her personality, she is often known as the one who always ends up alone. Just like any other introvert, she doesn't like social interaction. Whenever someone approaches her, she freaks out and has trouble making eye contact. And even when she does, she always ends up stuttering and loses her confidence. But despite all of this, Hee-tohri wants to have friends, along with being popular among her classmates. One day when she is watching TV, she sees an interview where a popular band member shares how he was an introvert with no friends, who always stayed alone in his class. But he wanted to be popular, and band is a place where even introverts can shine. Hearing this, Hee-tohri is moved and understands what she should do. She borrows her father's guitar in hopes of learning it and becoming popular by joining a band. At first, learning the skill all by herself was overwhelming. But because she is firm in her decision, she aims to learn guitar so she can play at the cultural festival to impress her classmates. 3 years later, the growth in Hee-tohri's guitar skills is astonishingly high. However, the problem remains the same: she has no friends. In middle school, she even brought CDs to her class so others could see them and talk to her. However, it didn't work, and she graduated without making even a single friend, as well as not performing in the cultural festival. And now remembering all these things are painful to her. But one thing new is that in these 3 years, she started her YouTube channel named Guitar Hero, which now has almost 30,000 subscribers. Her guitar skills are appreciated by her viewers who leave wonderful comments. Hee-tohri is proud of herself and believes it's a great place for introverts like her. She reads a comment about a person saying he had wished if someone from his school had played guitar, as it would have been very cool. Hee-tohri finally understands what she has to do. So the following day, while carrying her guitar, she goes to her school, waiting for someone to talk to her. However, throughout the day, people just pass by her with no one talking to her or even paying attention. Hee-tohri wonders if she did something wrong because of which others were not approaching her. Depressed, while she is sitting by herself in a park, she notices a man sitting there as well. Hee-tohri realizes it's a place for lonely people like them to gather, but soon sees he has a full-fledged happy family, and now she feels very sorry for what she thought of him. Just then a girl notices Hee-tohri's guitar and approaches her. Hee-tohri becomes a stone, as it has been a while since she talked to someone other than her family. The girl introduces herself as Nijika, a second year from a different high school. She asks Hee-tohri how good she is at playing the guitar. In reply, Hee-tohri says, "Somewhat good." It's all Nijika wanted to hear. She requests Hee-tohri to play as a second guitarist in her band. The concert is coming up and her guitarist just left. Hee-tohri isn't able to say no, so Nijika just grabs her and heads to the Starry club. On the way, Hee-tohri is freaking out and her heart can't stop pounding heavily. She wonders if she should just back down now, but there is another part of her that wants to become popular as well. They arrive at the club, where they meet Rio, the third member of their band. After introducing each other, without wasting any more time, they go straight inside the room to practice. Even though Hee-tohri lacks confidence in herself, she has confidence in her guitar skills. However, after the practice is done, Nijika and Rio realize Hee-tohri is really bad at playing the guitar. On hearing this, Hee-tohri is devastated. She is confused and wonders how is this even possible when she has 30,000 subscribers who really enjoy her guitar. It's not entirely Hee-tohri's fault, it's just that in a band, syncing with your fellow members is very important. However, our little Hee-tohri is only adapted to playing solo. But Hee-tohri doesn't realize this and wonders if she should just get herself executed for being overconfident. Nijika assures her it's alright, as there aren't going to be a lot of people to judge her skills, it's just her school friends. But still, if she doesn't want to join, Nijika won't force her. Hee-tohri expresses how grateful she is to be in the band. She shares how she always wanted to be in one but couldn't gather enough members, so she uploaded popular song covers on the internet. Hearing this, Nijika and Rio think she almost sounds like Guitar Hero. They tell Hee-tohri about the Guitar Hero and suggest her to watch her videos to get better. Hee-tohri doesn't disclose her identity, but she is really happy to hear both of them follow her YouTube channel. Hee-tohri stands up and swears she is not going to waste this chance. But she is still scared to play in front of the audience, so Ryo suggests her to use the cardboard box. On getting inside, it's the same environment as Hee-tohri's plays in her closet. With this, Hee-tohri makes her debut with her band. Afterwards, she promises to do her best from now on, but for today she has enough of social interaction and goes straight home. On her way, she is very happy and is looking forward to tomorrow. The following day, Hee-tohri arrives at the club after she received a message from Nijika about an important meeting. She is the first one to arrive but doesn't want to go inside or else everyone will stare at her. So after Ryo and Nijika arrive, they go inside the club where they have their first band meeting that is about knowing each other better. They roll a dice to decide the topic, and the first is to talk about your school. Unlike Ryo and Nijika, Hee-tohri attends a different high school that is 2 hours commute each way. It's all because she wanted a high school where no one knew about her past. Apart from this, she shares about spending all of her time alone in school because she doesn't have any friends. Seeing Hee-tohri depressed, Nijika comforts her by telling that Ryo too has only one friend and that's her. On knowing this, Hee-tohri feels a sense of relief. The fact someone like her exists in this world is a blessing to her. However, there is a difference. Unlike her, Ryo doesn't feel sick talking to people or going in public areas. This difference destroys Hee-tohri's little happiness. The next is to talk about their favorite music. After both Ryo and Nijika share, Hee-tohri shares about liking songs that don't make her more lonely. Seeing her going back to more despair, Nijika changes the topic and shares that they need vocals for their band. They used to have one but she suddenly ran away. Apart from finding a vocal, Ryo and Hee-tohri are assigned to write lyrics. Hee-tohri doesn't mind taking responsibility because she writes them during her lunch breaks. But when Ryo asks Nijika why she is the only one to not do anything, Nijika quickly changes the topic and starts talking about quotas. The concert they did yesterday is called the booked concert. It's when the club assigns the band a ticket quota to make sure enough people come. Anything sold over the quota goes to the band. However, if they can't bring enough people, the band members have to pay the remaining amount. Yesterday, it was Nijika's friends who filled the quota, but she fears that after their bad performance, they will not come back. So in order to pay for the quota, they will do part-time jobs to cover the expenses. Hee-tohri is devastated. She doesn't want to do work where she has to talk to people. She takes out her piggy bank in which her mother has been saving money for her marriage. She begs them to use this money instead of her working here. Nijika comforts her that she doesn't have to worry too much because they too will be working together. Looking at their passionate faces, Hee-tohri doesn't have the courage to say no and ends up agreeing. With it, they decide to start the part-time job from tomorrow. At home, after all the thinking, Hee-tohri decides to get sick. After all, she just can't fix her introvertness in a single day. So as a solution, she will get sick and will not go to the part-time job. After 30 minutes of enduring ice-cold bath, in front of the fan she prays to get sick. However, the next day, Hee-tohri is absolutely fine. So after school, she arrives at the club for her part-time job where she has an encounter with Saika, the owner of the club. Saika demands Hee-tohri who she is. In a panic, Hee-tohri begs her to not call the police because she is not a thief. Saika realizes it's the same girl who was playing the guitar in the box. Soon after, Nijika and Ryo also arrive. Eventually, Hee-tohri gets to know that Nijika and Saika are siblings. Without wasting any more time, Nijika begins explaining things to Hee-tohri. But because there is just too much information, Hee-tohri takes out her guitar and starts making a song out of the information so she doesn't forget. Hearing her guitar skills, Saika notices Hee-tohri is not as bad as she was at the concert. On the contrary, Saika actually finds her pretty good. Currently, Nijika is so busy calming down Hee-tohri that she does not even realize Hee-tohri's guitar skills are similar to someone they have heard before. Soon the customers start arriving and it's Hee-tohri's turn to make her part-time debut. For starters, Nijika sticks with Hee-tohri, But still, she is too awkward to talk to customers and soon goes out of commission. She feels bad for messing up, but Ryo and Nijika comfort her and say it's all right for the first day. As the performance begins, everyone is enjoying it. Hee-tohri sees the difference and realizes how far their band is in terms of making people enjoy their music. When a customer comes and gives an order, Hee-tohri brings the juice, and while looking into the customer's eyes, she gives it. Hee-tohri has taken the first step to greatness, and she feels great. After the day is over, she takes her leave. The fact she is able to survive the first day is a huge milestone for her. She hopes to give her best tomorrow as well, but she ends up getting sick. After 2 days, Hee-tohri's fever is finally gone. While she is getting ready for school, her little sister, Hee-tohri, asks her if she is happy for able to miss school for a few days. Hee-tohri says not very much. Even though she doesn't like attending school, if someone like her even for 1 day fails to attend school, everyone will forget she even exists. On hearing how demanding her sister is, Hee-tohri calls her a pain in the ass and leaves. Hee-tohri also agrees at first that she indeed is. But upon thinking how she is in a band, and now even doing a part-time job, she realizes she has improved. With this new confidence, she goes to school, but yet again no one talks to her. During lunch, she goes to the place where she usually eats. After eating it, she hears 2 girls talking about a certain someone who is good at singing and plays guitar. Hee-tohri tries to look, and sees it's the prettiest girl of their school, Kida. Remembering they need a vocalist, she goes to her class. Kida, seeing Hee-tohri staring at her, asks if she needs something. Hee-tohri gathers her courage to invite her to their band, but ends up fumbling, and out of embarrassment runs away. In this misery, she plays guitar and expresses her emotions. Suddenly Kida appears and Hee-tohri freaks out. She compliments her guitar skills, and it makes Hee-tohri very happy. Kida asks the reason she was in her class earlier, and Hee-tohri tells her about wanting to invite her to the band. But Kida refuses. It's just that she can't play guitar. She was in another band where she entered by lying about being good at guitar. But soon she realized what a bad thing she was doing and ran away. Changing the topic, Kida is curious as to how Hee-tohri learned the guitar. On knowing she is self-taught, Kida is amazed and Hee-tohri is yet again flattered. Kida requests her to teach her. Hee-tohri doesn't want to, but after a lot of persuasion, she agrees. As for the studio where she will be learning, Hee-tohri takes her to the club. On the way, Hee-tohri is not confident walking in front, so she goes behind her. Kida asks where it is, and on knowing it's called Starry, she refuses to go. Just then, Nijika comes and spots the runaway guitarist. Kida gets on her knees and apologizes. At the club, she explains the reason and once again apologizes. Ryo shares that because Kida so suddenly left, throughout the time she believed she died and was praying for her soul. Kida feels awful and asks how she can make it up. Saika suggests working at the club, and Kida agrees. After changing, as she begins to work, Hee-tohri notices the difference between her and Kida. Because of Kida's extrovertness, even Pachan is talking to her, and Nijika doesn't fear handing her more work that is related to talking to customers. While she is preparing some drinks, Kida is looking at her with admiration. However, an introvert cannot work in such conditions. After messing up, Kida wipes the cola, and Hee-tohri feels something strange but doesn't say it. Kida asks Hee-tohri the reason she joined the band. Hee-tohri doesn't want to admit that despite her introvertness she wants to be popular. So she says it's for the world peace. When asked Kida about it, she shares it's because of Ryo's senpai. The first time she saw her playing on the street, she fell in love with her skills, her attitude, and her tomboy look. After wrapping up the day, as Kida is about to leave, Hee-tohri tries to stop her but ends up stumbling. She once again requests her to join the band. Kida can see Hee-tohri is worried for her, but yet again she refuses to join because she doesn't deserve to be here. Hee-tohri tells her about her fingertips being rough, which means she has been working hard on her guitar skills. On knowing this, Ryo and Nijika also request her to join. In the first place, if she hadn't left the band, they wouldn't have met Hee-tohri. Ryo also adds that their quota per person will be reduced as well. Nijika doesn't like how blunt Ryo is but insists her to join. Kita gets emotional and finally agrees. The following day, Hee-tohri is teaching Kita as promised, but Kita is having difficulty. It's not like there is any need for a vocalist to play anything, but it's just that Kita doesn't want to be idle during the instrumental part, or it will be too awkward for her. That's why she just has to work harder and improve her skills. This kind of confidence burns Hee-tohri's eyes. Kita asks Hee-tohri if she would also like to sing as well, but she immediately refuses, and keeps on refusing until Kita has to apologize for suggesting it. Soon, everyone gathers for their second band meeting. This time they have to discuss how they can be more like a proper band. Practice is an important part, but there are other things as well that will make them more like a proper band. Nijika suggests selling band merch. As their band name literally translates to zip ties, they can sell these in multiple colors. After this, Kita suggests creating an Instagram account that she'll be in charge of. Ryo also suggests creating a fan club with an annual membership fee of 10,000 yen. This will include meetups and once-a-year party with the band. Seeing everyone is helping, Hee-tohri wants to help as well. But she can't think of anything and as a result, goes in despair. Nijika calms her down and tells she doesn't have to worry because she is already in charge of writing the lyrics. On knowing this, Kita is amazed and as a result, Hee-tohri gets carried away with the compliment. 1 week later, Hee-tohri can't come up with anything. Since it's going to be Kita who will sing it, she decides to come up with a song that matches the vibe of a cheerful person. She starts acting like an extrovert so she can understand their thinking. Watching her act, Hee-tohri's parents are in deep worry. She goes inside her closet and resumes thinking about the lyrics. But no matter how much she thinks, she is only coming up with shallow lyrics that match her vibes. Any depressed person hearing this song will just go into more despair. After receiving a message from Nijika, she meets up with others and apologizes for not being able to write the lyrics. Nijika says it's not the reason she has been called. They have to take some promotional photos for their band. As they cannot afford a studio, they have to take the photos outside. With this, they begin the day. After searching for a place with a nice background, they take the photo. However, it's lacking something, and feels less energetic. And out of all, Kita's photos are coming good because she often uploads them on Instagram with her friends. Just hearing the word friends deals a huge blow to Hee-tohri. Her soul starts to leave her body because she has never had any pictures with friends. All she had was with her family. After coming back to her senses, they take their photo while jumping. And it ends up coming perfectly like a band. After wrapping up, when everyone goes their separate ways, Hee-tohri is sitting worrying about the lyrics. She wonders if she should ask for someone's opinion. She decides to talk to Ryo, and through chat receives her location. She arrives at the cafe and meets up with her. But now that she has come, Hee-tohri is in a worry because this is the first time she is talking alone with Ryo. She starts wondering whether she should say something first or wait for her to say something. Ryo, after finishing her lunch, just asks for the lyrics. On reading it, she asks Hee-tohri if she is satisfied with it. Hee-tohri says she wanted to write a song that would be more energetic and cheerful. Ryo shares about the time she was in a different band. During the time, the lyrics they came up with were awkward, but she still liked it for how honest they were. But just like any band, in order to become profitable, they started to go more commercial and lost their originality. In the end, she left the band. Because for her, abandoning your uniqueness is equivalent to dying. So Ryo encourages Hee-tohri to not write lyrics on what others will like, but what she truly feels. Hee-tohri is amazed she talked to Ryo, and finds her a considerate person. After wrapping up, as Ryo is about to leave, Hee-tohri reminds her she forgot to pay her bill. Ryo apologizes, but for now she is broke, so she requests Hee-tohri to pay it instead. She promises to pay it back when she receives her allowance. The following day, Hee-tohri shows her lyrics to everyone. She worked all night and was able to finish it. After reading it, they find it depressing, but it's very Hee-tohri-like. They might not be able to connect with a lot of people, but with those they will, it will be genuine. Hee-tohri is proud of herself. She wants to work very hard and hopes they can stick together longer so they have a lot of photos together. The following day, everyone receives their pay for the month. On seeing so much money in front, Hee-tohri feels incredibly rich and starts wondering what she should buy for herself. However, Nijika just takes it away as it's going to cover the quota and other band expenses. Hee-tohri is devastated. On top of all this, in order to make their album, they would need more money, and for that, they would have to do second jobs and summer vacation. Hee-tohri starts to lose herself. She doesn't want to do another job, and starts looking at how she can take a loan as a minor. She is even willing to sell her guitar, so she requests them to not make her do another job. Luckily, Rio has already made the song, all thanks to Hee-tohri's lyrics. With this, the only thing left is to ask Saika to book their concert slot. However, she bluntly refuses to do so. Nijika emphasizes that they have even completed their original song, as well they have enough money to pay their quota if they don't get enough audience. However, Saika still refuses. The issue is their skill. Last time it was an exception, but she just cannot let their amateur band play their awful performance in her club. She insists Nijika to just stick with the band as a hobby. Nijika is devastated. She runs away while saying her sister can't even sleep without stuffed animals to cuddle. Just imagining how Saika would look, everyone finds it cute. As everyone tries to go after Nijika, Saika stops Hee-tohri, as there is something she has to tell her. After some time on the other side, Hee-tohri arrives while panting. After calming down, she tells them what Saika told her. In order to have their slot booked, they first have to give an audition to prove their band is worth for it. To know there is a chance, everyone is glad to hear it. But they only have 1 week of preparation time. Knowing this, Rio suggests they should record their parts in advance and just pretend it. But Nijika refuses. They will not cheat, or else they will likely be caught by her sister. And above all, both Hee-tohri and Kita have gotten better at playing the guitar, which is a huge plus for them. Hearing this, Kita wonders if others think Hee-tohri is not good at playing guitar. Because when she heard her for the first time, she found her amazing. Throughout the week, all of them practice both in the studio, in school, as well as in their home. Finally, on the day of the audition, before beginning, everyone makes sure their instruments are working fine. After taking a deep breath, the performance begins. Throughout the time, Hee-tohri is in worry, because she knows they can't afford to lose this chance, or else their band will be game over. So to not miss this chance, she is playing at her best. And when it's done, they bow down and show respect. All of them are satisfied with their performance, but Saika starts pointing out the mistakes they made. Everyone is sad to hear it, thinking they have failed. But Saika tells them she is just telling them where they can improve. As for the audition, they have passed. Everyone is bursting with happiness. But amidst this, both Rio and Nijika wonder if what Hee-tohri did was a fluke, or if she really did improve this much since she joined. On the other side, Saika also confirms her suspicion about Hee-tohri being really good. It's just that she lacks experience with the team, but this all means she can grow more. She needs someone to give her the confidence, someone to acknowledge her talent. However, because Saika is staring at Hee-tohri all this time, it's making her freak out, wondering if she did something wrong. And to make this situation even worse, Saika tells her she will be keeping her eyes on her. Afterwards, Pachan asks Saika the reason she was so cold when she had already booked their slot before they even requested it. Saika says she wanted them to be confident enough to know they are ready for real concerts. They still have areas to improve, and as her sister, she needs to be hard on Nijika. Now that they have passed, Hee-tohri feels great about their upcoming performance. But it shatters when she gets to know each member has to sell at least 5 tickets to cover the quota. At home, Hee-tohri is wondering to whom she should sell the tickets to. At first, she thought she would be able to sell them to her family. However, grandma can't come and people under the age of 5 as well as pets aren't allowed. In order to sell 3 more, she begins to think about who could it be. Hee-tohri's mother asks if she should invite her friends. But this unintentionally lands a solid hit at her as it makes her realize she doesn't have any friends. Hee-tohri goes outside to search for 3 potential customers. Just then, she receives messages from others sharing they have sold their tickets. Hee-tohri wonders if she should just admit she can't do it. But in that case, she fears they will just abandon her. Suddenly, a woman collapses. Hee-tohri is in worry and tries to call an ambulance. The woman, in a very delicate condition, requests she needs some water. Hee-tohri agrees, but then she asks for a hangover medicine, some miso soup along with some rice porridge. Hee-tohri wonders what's with this woman. After buying them, the woman introduces herself as Kikuri. From all the juice she drank last night, now she is feeling much better. She takes out all the juice and while drinking it, asks Hee-tohri if she wants them. But then apologizes on realizing she is underage. Every inch of Hee-tohri's body is telling her to stay away from this person. But as she is about to leave, Kikuri notices the guitar and asks if she can play it. Hee-tohri fears that if she gives her guitar to her, she will definitely break it in her drunken state. So she refuses by saying she only bought it to see if she can play it. But after realizing she can't, she is giving up on it and going to return it. Kikuri stops her and says it's a waste to just give up after one day, because you might become worthy of it someday. Hearing this, Hee-tohri realizes maybe she misunderstood her for being a wrong person. She apologizes and explains the reason she was lying. Kikuri also plays guitar, and just like Rio, she plays a bass one. She grabs Hee-tohri and goes to their pub where she left her guitar. Afterwards, they sit somewhere in public, where she shares about the concert her band performed last night, and later they had a party in which she drank too much, and the next she woke up was in the park. Hee-tohri asks her the reason she likes drinking so much. Kikuri expresses that by drinking juice, she can forget all her life problems, and it gives her ultimate happiness. And Kikuri knows it's not something Hee-tohri will understand now but in the future. Just upon thinking about how she might end up, Hee-tohri goes in shock. Kikuri asks her what she was doing in the park, and Hee-tohri tells her about the tickets. Hearing this, Kikuri decides to help her. She takes off her jacket and tells her they are going to do a street concert, because this is the best place to sell tickets. Hee-tohri starts freaking out and tells her they don't have enough equipments and should not do it. Kikuri tells her it's not a worry and calls her friends to bring the amp. After that, she requests everyone to listen to their song as it's totally free. Seeing how nervous Hee-tohri is, Kikuri advises her to just shut her eyes. Luckily for Hee-tohri, she can play the guitar with her eyes closed because she has been playing it these past years in her closet. But still, as a reminder, Kikuri tells Hee-tohri that the people in front of them aren't enemies. After this, their performance begins. Hearing Kikuri's guitar, Hee-tohri notices the reason she plays it with so much confidence is because she just enjoys it. A girl from the audience cheers for Hee-tohri on seeing she seems nervous. Hearing it, Hee-tohri opens her eyes and understands what Kikuri meant earlier. Only those have stopped here who want to hear her play guitar. After the performance is done, everyone is amazed by it. Hee-tohri is now much more confident and wonders if she can see more happy faces like these. The girls from before agree to buy 2 tickets. It was their first time watching the street performance, and it was just amazing. They wishes her the best for the concert. Kikuri is very happy for Hee-tohri. And as for the last ticket, she buys it. After bidding her goodbye, as she is about to leave, she comes back and requests Hee-tohri to let her borrow some money for the fare. Seeing this, Hee-tohri wonders if all bass guitarists are poor. On the other side, Nijika asks Kita whether Hee-tohri go along with friends or not. Kita shares they aren't in the same class, but whenever she sees her, she is alone. Now hearing this, Nijika wonders if she put a lot of pressure on Hee-tohri by telling her to sell the tickets. But then she receives a message from Hee-tohri saying she has sold all the tickets. The summer vacation has started. Kita and Nijika are on the way to Hee-tohri's house. Today they have to come up with a design for their band t-shirt. Kita asks the reason Rio didn't come. And Nijika shares her grandma is extremely ill and might be in her final moments. Hearing this, Kita is in worry. But Nijika assures it's Rio's 10th time using this as an excuse. Whenever she doesn't want to come, she makes absurd excuses like these. After some time, they arrive at the house and there is a huge banner welcoming them. As they enter the home, Hee-tohri welcomes them in a fancy way. They give souvenirs to her and go to her room, which is too overly decorated. Looking at their reaction, Hee-tohri starts popping the balloons and goes to bring some drinks. Both of them are amazed to see how much work Hee-tohri has put in. Because the room is dim, Nijika accidentally bumps into a drawer and a lot of photos of theirs come out. Then, Futari comes telling them there are actually a lot more. She shares how her sister had put them on the wall, but their mother got angry at her, so she had to take them down. Both of them find Futari incredibly cute. Seeing how socially accepted her sister and dog are, Hee-tohri is devastated. She tells Futari to go downstairs so she can talk with her friends, but when she refuses, Hee-tohri bribes her with an ice cream. She immediately leaves and afterwards, they begin designing the t-shirt. Downstairs, Hee-tohri's parents have just arrived from shopping and on hearing Hee-tohri has brought some friends, they are in shock. They go upstairs to check and are amazed. Just for confirmation, they ask if they are being rented by their daughter. Nijika assures them they are her friends. Hee-tohri's parents have a sense of relief. They share how restless their daughter had been for the past few days. She spent the entire day deciding whether she should decorate the room or not, as well as practicing Twister game in case they decided to play. In just a few minutes, both Kita and Nijika have opened up to Hee-tohri's parents, and it's making it hard for her to enter between them. After spending a lot of time with each other, they go upstairs to decide what to choose for shirt design. After hours, they finally decide to go with Nijika's design. Now what's left is to give their best at the concert. But unfortunately, on the day of the concert there is a typhoon. Everyone has arrived at the club, but the chances of people attending their concert are very slim. Kita's friends will not be able to make it, similarly for Hee-tohri's parents. Earlier, her grandma was supposed to take care of Futari, but now they have to do it instead. The audience is going to be half, but still, Nijika encourages them to stay cheerful so they can give their best. Just then, Kikuri comes drenched in rain. Saika is surprised to see her. It's because, during her college days, Kikuri was her junior. Soon after, the girls from the street concert also arrive. Hee-tohri in a surprised tone asks them why would they come here in such weather, and they reply it's because they are her #1 fans. Hearing this, Hee-tohri goes super sane and feels as if she is in heaven. Even after waiting for an hour, no one else comes. The ones that have come are for the other band's performance. So with no more delay, they decide to give the performance. Kita introduces the band and name of the first song. As the performance begins, Hee-tohri notices Nijika's drumming is a little slow, Kita is making mistakes she didn't made in the practice, and similarly, Rio is out of sync. She can see everyone is nervous, and because of this, the audience isn't enjoying it very much. The other band's audience is not even paying attention. And after the first song ends, they wonder when this will be over. Hee-tohri doesn't want their band to fail. She wants to see everyone enjoy as they did in the street concert. She can't let their hard work go to waste, so she starts the second song with her solo. The moment everyone hears it, they can't take away their eyes from Hee-tohri. Soon, the others also follow up. Now that their performance is in sync, everyone is enjoying along with those who were earlier badmouthing. When the performance ends, everyone gives a round of applause. After wrapping up, they have a party which is being treated by Saika. Their Kikuri introduces herself as a genius bassist. Rio actually knows her, it's because she is a big fan of hers. In one of the concerts she went to, Kikuri drank a lot of juice, then spit it at the audience, and then forgot her lines. Everyone is amazed to hear it. As for today's performance, Saika congratulates them and wishes the very best for the next concert. Hee-tohri is having a lot of fun until she hears a stranger sharing how his wife suddenly changed the way she dresses and now she even locks her phone. His colleague suspects she is definitely cheating. But the man also thinks he deserves it as he has been spending too much time working and doesn't spend time with her. He wonders why he is doing all this work if he can't have his wife's love. It's such a shocking conversation to Hee-tohri that she starts worrying about her future as well. She can imagine herself being the employee with the lowest sales results, and eventually being fired from the company. After this, she'll be spending all her day drinking juice just like Kikuri-senpai. Hearing Hee-tohri freaking out about her future, Kikuri sits next to her. She advises her to just chill and enjoy herself. Or else, she will make her life miserable by overthinking. After spending some more time outside, Nijika tells Hee-tohri that after today, she realized she is the guitar hero. She never noticed earlier, but just like her, she also strums the guitar in a similar way and both of them have the same guitar. At first, Hee-tohri tries to refuse, but then admits she is. She wanted to be the one to tell them but only after she fixed herself. She asks Nijika if she is angry about the fact she hit it. Nijika says she is happy to know it's her. Her dream is to make her band very popular, and by having her in the band made her realize that they are not far from achieving the dream. Hee-tohri is happy to know it, and promises they will become the best band in the world also because she doesn't want to do corporate jobs. 2 weeks later, the summer vacation is still ongoing, and all this time, Hee-tohri has been spending her time playing guitar each and every day. However, this is not what she wants. There's no denying she enjoys playing the guitar, however, she also wants to spend time with her friends. But she doesn't want to be the one who brings this topic up, or else she will be in charge of planning the whole thing. She believes others will offer to go together somewhere sooner, so she just goes to sleep. However, yet again the next 2 weeks pass by with her playing guitar and watching YouTube videos about black holes. And when the summer vacation is about to end and it's time to return to the part-time job, she starts acting weirdly, which is making others feel worried about her. She has been acting even more strange than she usually was. Sometimes she is depressed, and the next time she is doing samba. They all wonder if it's because the summer vacation is coming to an end and she will need to attend school. Saika asks them if they went anywhere together as a band, because 4 weeks ago, when she asked Hee-tohri on what she'll be doing during the days off from her part-time job, she said she had nothing to do other than playing the guitar. Everyone finally understands the issue. All the summer vacation Kita was busy with her friends, and Nijika was busy working at home with her sister, so they couldn't spend time with Hee-tohri. And as for Rio, she didn't invite her because she thought both of them had invited her already. On realizing nobody invited Hee-tohri, they apologize to her and say they should go to the beach or a shrine. Without wasting any more time, they immediately head to the Onashima. Throughout the journey, Hee-tohri is not in her normal state. But after reaching, she finally comes back to her senses and realizes they have arrived at the beach. But just then, 3 men approach her and ask if she would like to have a party with them. Hee-tohri just explodes and starts floating around like paper. After regaining herself, they eat some takosen and take some photos. After this, they go to the Onashima shrine. It's so above that they have to climb a lot of stairs, and because it's so tiresome, they eventually have to take a rest midway and use the escalator to cover the rest part. After arriving at the top, they take some more photos and have some ice cream. But just then, a kite takes away Hee-tohri's ice cream. And soon, she gets targeted by them because for some reason they find her face annoying and wanted to beat her. After they leave, while carrying Hee-tohri's beaten-up body, they go to the shrine where they make their wish. On the way home, everyone is tired and both Nijika and Rio are deep asleep. Hee-tohri expresses how much fun she had today, and she is glad that she came here with everyone. However, the next day, it's the first day of school and Hee-tohri's body is so sore from walking and getting beaten up that she doesn't want to go to school. But her mother thinks she is making an excuse and tells Futari to wake her sister up. Hee-tohri wakes up at school where the class representative is explaining about the cultural festival and their class doing the maid cafe. But because every girl is required to wear the outfit, Hee-tohri is going crazy. Apart from this, if anyone wants to perform anything at the festival, they have to fill out the forms and leave them in the box in front of the student council room. Obviously, Hee-tohri has no intention of doing something that will consume her life force. But upon hearing how some students think if someone from their class does perform, they will be the coolest, the next thing we see is Hee-tohri about to submit the form. She freaks out and wonders when on earth she wrote all of this. She slams her head multiple times for this mistake and ends up knocking herself out. The next she wakes up is in the nurse's office with Kita next to her. Hee-tohri wants to make sure Kita doesn't see the form or else she'll get too excited and would definitely want to participate. So she tells her to go to her class while she has some rest. After Kita leaves, Hee-tohri crumbles the form and throws it away. Afterwards, she goes to the Starry club and tells Saika about the festival. Nijika also comes, and on hearing about it, she also shares about her and Ryo's experience when they were in middle school. And because there are too many people, she tells Hee-tohri to not rush about it as it's different from what they have been doing. Hee-tohri at home wonders what she should do. She knows it must be going to be a great feeling, standing on the stage with everyone cheering on her, but if she messes up the performance, she will not be able to face her classmates. So in the end she decides not to do it. This way, when she becomes famous, all her classmates will be cursing their luck for not asking for her autograph when they had the chance. However, this plan just goes to waste when Kita tells her about submitting the form. Hee-tohri is devastated. At the club, Kita feels bad for what she did, almost as if she is a criminal. Just then Kikuri also comes and sees Hee-tohri has lost her will to live because she is too scared to perform in front of so many people. On knowing this, Kikuri gives all of them a ticket for her concert. When they are about to pay for it, Kikuri tells them it's a gift from her. But as they still insist, Kikuri asks them if they think she is some kind of broke who takes money from teenagers. On knowing what her image has become, she tells them her band is actually popular, and they have already reached their ticket quota. So above that, as well as the money they earn from selling merch, is their income. Hearing this, Saika demands her to pay the money for the juice she drank here. Using this chance, Hee-tohri also tells them Kikuri hasn't paid the money for the fare. Saika is pissed, and asks if she has taken more money from her. Hee-tohri says Kikuri hasn't but Ryo has. After this, Saika made both of them pay back the money to Hee-tohri. While carrying drunken Kikuri, they all walk to the concert. Upon entering the club, they sense scary vibes and Hee-tohri refuses to enter. Upon walking further, they meet the manager Jin, and on seeing him, even Nijika gets scared. But on hearing his voice, the misunderstanding is cleared up and everyone is much more relaxed. Soon Kikuri's band members arrive, and they are Shima, who is the drummer, and Eliza, who is the guitarist. After all the people have come, the audience is at around 200. With it, the performance begins. The moment Hee-tohri hears them, she finds it amazing. The drum is spot on, and the guitar is playing in sync, but above all is Kikuri, who is brightening up the hall with her overwhelming charisma. She is really like a hero, and Hee-tohri finds her amazing. Afterwards, when the concert is finished, Kikuri asks how was the performance, and Hee-tohri says it was great, but she is still scared. Hearing this, Kikuri shares about her school days when she was an introvert who used to stay in the corner and was afraid of large crowds. Everyone is scared for the first time whenever they do something new, but after seeing her play in the street and in the Starry, she can say with confidence Hee-tohri will be fine. Hee-tohri feels much better and invites her to the cultural festival. Kikuri happily agrees. Day 1 of the annual festival begins. Nijika and Ryo arrive at the school and head to Hee-tohri's classroom. Both of them are getting restless to see her in a maid outfit. But there, they get to know it has been more than half an hour since she left to change her outfit. They believe maybe Hee-tohri didn't want to wear it and is hiding because of it. They go to where she usually is but can't find her. So with no other choice, they decide to search the entire school. On the other side, Hee-tohri is lying depressed from the embarrassment of wearing the maid outfit. During such times, she wished she had the cardboard box. To make herself feel better, she tries to read her YouTube comments, but she is stunned to see the viewers are wondering if the guitar hero is dead or something, as it has been a very long time since she uploaded. Hee-tohri has been so busy for the past few months that she completely forgot to upload. Just then the others arrive. Since their performance is scheduled for tomorrow, today they are going to just enjoy the festival. They all go to the haunted house, play games, win some prizes and eat chocolate crepes. Afterwards, they return to Hee-tohri's class, where while she is working, 2 delinquents approach her with a menacing look. Hee-tohri goes in shock, but to the delinquents, it seems she isn't bothered by their looks and starts respecting her out of fear. Inside the classroom, as others give a proper look at Hee-tohri, they notice how incredibly cute she is looking in a maid outfit. Rio wonders if they should make her wear a swimsuit to promote their band, because then they will definitely get more popular. However, it's too much for Hee-tohri. After she brings their order, they demand her to cast the magical spell as mentioned in the menu. Hee-tohri doesn't want to, but after a lot of persuasion, she does it. But because of her lack of interest, the food becomes tasteless. So Kita shows her how to do it instead. With this, the omelette rice actually tastes much better than before. Impressed by Kita, the girls request her to join their class in the maid cafe. Kita immediately agrees, and after her persuasion, Nijika and Rio also take part in it. Rio's and Nijika's experiences are helping to bring more customers, but because of it, Hee-tohri is told to rest. After wrapping up the day, they go to their club where they do some practice. And finally, on the day of the concert, Hee-tohri is nervous. She wonders if there will be a person from the record company who will select them, and their success story will begin. As their turn is about to come, Hee-tohri's heart is pounding very rapidly. They get on the stage, and do some warm-up and check their instruments. Eventually, the spotlight falls on them and the curtain rises. The audience mostly consists of Kita's friends, but among them, there is Hee-tohri's family as well as Saika and Kikuri. The performance begins. Everything is going smoothly, and everyone seems to be enjoying it. Hee-tohri does seem nervous, but she is not losing her focus. After the first song successfully ends, Hee-tohri is glad to see everyone enjoying it. But for some reason, she feels something is off. And out of all people, Kikuri seems to notice it. As the second song begins, during it, Hee-tohri realizes she is not able to play the E string. And eventually it breaks. She begins to worry and wonders what she should do. Using her quick thinking, she takes the bottleneck and uses it to compensate for her broken peg. Despite being out of tune, she continues playing it. After the performance ends, Hee-tohri is glad to see despite her mistake, everyone seems to enjoy it. And to her surprise, some of the students are throwing encouraging words at her for playing the guitar despite the broken string. Kita realizes this is the chance for Hee-tohri to shine. She gives the mic to her and tells her to say something. Kita unexpectedly did the worst possible thing to an introvert. Hee-tohri begins to panic. She didn't even prepare a speech, and to come up with something in front of these many people is freaking her out. She starts thinking maybe she should do something interesting like Kikuri did in her concert. So just like her, she dives into the crowd, but no one catches her and she ends up getting knocked out. The next she wakes up is in the nurse's office, with Kita next to her. Hee-tohri apologizes for messing up the performance, but Kita assures everyone enjoyed their performance. At home, Hee-tohri apologizes to her father for breaking the guitar she borrowed from him. Dad assures her it's totally fine and he encourages her to buy her own guitar now. Hee-tohri with a sad tone tells him even though she is doing a part-time job, she is not able to save money from it. Dad assures her it's not a problem and gives her the money. Hee-tohri freaks out and respectfully rejects the dirty money. Dad tells her they aren't so financially poor. And in the first place, it's the money that she earned from her YouTube videos. After all, she was using the family account and everyone knows about her channel. Since it achieved the monetization threshold, he secretly monetized it, and now she can use it to buy her guitar. Hee-tohri looks at the 300,000 yen and can't believe her eyes. She decides to use the 100k for the guitar and the rest to use it to fill the ticket quota for the next 2 years. This way she will not need to do any work at all. She decides to quit the part-time. With this much happiness, she is in a super sane mode. But in front of Saika, she loses her confidence and promises to do her best in the job. From there, they all go to the guitar store. At first, she was terrified to walk into the store but somehow manages to do it and finds the guitar to her liking. Hee-tohri buys it and after it, she goes home. At home, Hee-tohri finds the guitar amazing, but on realizing she just abandoned the old guitar, she apologizes to it and promises she will not forget the time she spent with him. With her new guitar, she heads to school. If you enjoyed the recap, please consider liking and subscribing this channel. Have a wonderful day ahead.